Hello. Hey, Nick.
Hello, Amelia. Hello, Founders Life Seattle. It's been a long time. How we doing?
Yeah, so good to see some people already blowing up the comments on YouTube. Welcome to Founders Live Seattle. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Amelia Marckworth. I'm the city lead of Founders Live Seattle. And we have Nick Hughes, who has been on a long journey around the globe and is finally back in Seattle to hang out with us. So welcome, Nick.
Thank you. It's nice to be back. I'm actually back in Seattle more full time. I was traveling a little bit around the southern part of the United States. I spent time in Charleston, South Carolina. I spent time in New Orleans. I spent time in Atlanta. Spent the last 2 months in Nashville. And I'm going to tell you, Seattle, you almost lost me to Nashville, but I'm back and really excited to be here.
No way. Seattle, always number one in our hearts. Yes.
Always number one. And I can tell you, Amelia, you have been doing and you will continue to do such a good job. You and the Seattle team here have kept things going. You did one in-person event. It was great. And then now here we are. So, forever, that was a little disappointing, right? I mean, it's just really but we felt like we had to make that decision and be safe.
Yeah, definitely. We had an awesome in-person event last month with the collective. This month, just with the rising COVID cases, we had to make a really tough call to, do what was safest for our community. Fingers crossed for September 30th. Mark your calendars in person at the collective. If you're in Seattle, I know we have viewers from around the globe, so go ahead and put in the YouTube comments, where are you joining us from today? I know we have people watching from around the world, around the Puget Sound region. So welcome. If this is your very first Founders Live Seattle or Founders Live event, you have an awesome, next 90 minutes in store for you. It's a really fun show. We're really excited to have everyone here. Obviously, we're online and streaming. So go ahead, make sure that you like and share this YouTube video for us so that other people can find it later on. If you have a friend who's sitting at home, we're kind of staying inside more often, send them this YouTube link. All right. Hey, Lex, good to see you. Welcome from Seattle. Oh, Culver City. Well, Callie. Hi, Roz. Oh, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. So good to see you. If you're in Seattle, we got to catch up. Story Fruition, that's Melissa calling in from Sammamish. Hey, Rick. Ooh, Palm Springs. I'm jealous. Zad calling in from Woodinville.
All right. So great. Look at all these people, and they're still flowing in, still joining. So excited. But hey, Amelia, I'm also incredibly excited to bring out our opening discussion. This is an incredible team, an incredible individual in Cooper. Y'all gonna love this. You're gonna love this. So without further ado, our opening interview conversation is around RyeStrategy. We have Cooper Wesken from University of Washington. Him and his team have created this incredible concept around carbon neutrality and helping organizations, maybe like yours, definitely like Founders Live, to understand this whole issue of carbon, essentially the issue around climate change, and help us become carbon neutral in our operations. Not an easy task. They're here to really help change the world here. Let's bring on Cooper and hear from him around what they are doing. All right, let's bring on, there's Cooper Wesken. Cooper, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, thanks, Nick. I'm doing great and excited to be here. Hey, Cooper, really good to see you. I love what you're doing with the climate pledge. I'm excited to dig into that more, but yeah, I know this is one of the first times we've met. So if you tell me a little bit about yourself, what's RyeStrategy up to?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give like the 20-second spiel, especially since I'm from Seattle. I'll give a little personal background there, and then kind of dive into what we're up to. So I was born and raised on Capitol Hill for those of us that are from the Seattle area, and then I just recently graduated from the University of Washington just about 2 months ago. And so while I was in my junior year there, I founded RyeStrategy, and essentially who we are and what we're doing is we're a student-operated environmental consultancy working to help small and medium businesses make an environmental impact and make a difference. So we offer a bunch of different services, kind of our bread and butter, and we're actually going through the process right now. Founders Live is helping companies go carbon neutral across all of their operations. So we've been in business for a little bit over a year now. Got to work with a lot of different companies, great companies like Founders Live, and excited to kind of see where we go from here and hopefully potentially even help out some of the people at this event as well at some point here.
Well, thank you so much, Cooper. So, a little bit of a plug here for the Founders Live podcast. We had a great conversation a while ago. So everyone definitely go check that out, listen to that episode. But since we're here, first question for you, man, is why? Why?
Yeah.
Why take on this absolute world-changing concept and a mission? Talk to us about what made you choose that direction.
Yeah, it's a good question. I was just talking to a good friend about this last night, actually. So I'm all warmed up. But I think the thing that really kind of gets me is if you look at it, we're on an unsustainable path right now, right? I mean, the IPCC just released a report a few weeks ago that people I've never even talked to climate change about before and knew that it was something they're passionate about or are talking about, and you're seeing that make its rounds. And we're really at this point where obviously it is, I think it's without a doubt scientifically proven that the issues that we're seeing, the global warming that we're seeing is human caused, but that we're on this route that we're getting close to the point where we can't turn back anymore. And I think there's kind of two options that we all have when it comes to that. One is that we can kind of sit back, let it happen, whether or not you believe in it, hope that something happens and that it changes. And I think the other option is that we try and do something about it and we try to fix it. And I believe that we still can, while we are reaching that point of hypothetically no return or severe damage, there's still a chance to turn that around. And so I think for me, I was a junior in college and saw this opportunity that, hey, when we talk about this, we're talking about two really different things. We're talking about who are we as individuals, and are we, banning plastic straws? And then on the complete other end of the spectrum, we're talking about Shell and these massive companies that are leading to the majority of the greenhouse gas emissions. And what I saw was kind of this missing gap, which is that there is also the small, medium-sized businesses out there that have impacts that are made up of individuals, but that are operating at a larger scale than just one of us or four of us, or whoever it might be, that can really make that difference. And so kind of where we got started is to have those opportunities available for everyone to make a difference. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't just take the major corporations and it doesn't just take us as individuals. It takes all of us, all entities, all people really contributing to make a difference. And so I think, for us, that's what we're here to fulfill, is to provide that opportunity to help out small and medium-sized organizations to really make a difference that has an impact, and to kind of create that systems change of the fact that we're all accountable here at the end of the day, and that, we have a choice, and it's that we can sit back or, we can do something about it and all work on it. And, we're hoping to help as many companies as possible choose the latter.
That is so cool, Cooper. I love what you guys are working on. What does that actually look like on the ground for, a mid-sized company? What do you help them do, taking on, the entire environmental devastation of our planet is kind of big picture. So can you, what's one thing that we can start with?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, in terms of our process and what we really work on, we want to help companies figure out what are the emissions that actually come from their business operations. So, you have a business meeting in Arizona. What are the emissions from flying there? What are the emissions from your office space, or even from working from home? Right now, I'm using electricity to be here and everything else. There are a lot of different things that really factor into that, and it can be really, really confusing. It's a pretty complicated process, and that's part of why we're in business here, is that it's not one of those things. It's, climate change isn't an easy problem itself, and emissions especially get complicated. And so, what we're able to do is come in and actually quantify that amount and look at what those emissions are, whether it's from working from home or commuting, use of sold product, all of these different things really can have an impact. And the way that companies can make that difference is through kind of two key stages. It's first mitigating, which is seeing what are the business practices that you can change to lower that footprint kind of year over year. And then the second option there, and the thing that really takes companies carbon neutral, are carbon offsets. So those are investments in projects that are planting trees that are drawing down carbon out of the atmosphere, or providing cleaner cooking stoves to refugees. There are a bunch of different options out there for how companies can make a difference. And what we're here to hopefully do is help them kind of quantify and then reduce and offset everything else. And through doing that, companies are not only able to actually reduce the impacts that they have, but it sets that precedent that this is something that all companies and all people can be looking at, is really, what are our impacts? What impacts am I having? What impacts is my business having? And what can we do to lower that, make the world a greener place at the end of the day? And also set a precedent for the big guys like Shell or whoever else it might be that are really driving those things to also take action and to do something about it and ultimately fix the problem.
Cooper, we talked about, especially on the podcast, and we've been very public about the carbon neutrality pledge. Founders Live has taken it. You've probably seen that, everyone. And we are encouraging you all to step up and be a part of the solution. Because if we all don't take our initiatives to be a part of the solution, we might not even be around in 50 or 100 years. And it's funny, but it's not. And so it's really about all of us doing what we can. So let's talk about this pledge. In general, what is it? And then we'll kind of get into how they can take part in it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the first step, is again, like, it's a complicated thing. And, probably even just alone in the 5 or 10 minutes that I've been talking, I'm sure there are things that are overly complicated and kind of difficult to follow along with, because there is a lot that goes into this. And so to address that issue, we launched the Software and Professional Services Industry Carbon Neutrality Pledge just over a year ago now. And essentially what it is it's an opportunity for businesses to learn a bit more about what it actually takes to go carbon neutral, to make that commitment so that it's more visible, so it really shows that this is something that as an organization they care about. And then as a result of actually committing to the pledge, we have a 27-page primer that basically goes through the whole process and really highlights, what is a carbon footprint? What goes into that? What are mitigation strategies? How do those work? How do offsets work? And another really big thing is, if you look at the trends that we see currently, like Nick, like you said, this is one of those things that if we don't do something about it, we might not be here to tell the story in 50 to 100 years. And when you look at it, even from just a consumer perspective, it is something that consumers care about globally. I think I saw a statistic, it's like 80% of customers want businesses to be more sustainable, and 50% are willing to shift their purchases from an unsustainable provider to a more sustainable one. And so we also, provide that advice on how do you actually market this in an ethical way. And so basically what the pledge offers is a way to transparently commit to being carbon neutral, while also being able to learn a bit more about what the process actually entails, what that looks like, and really just provide those resources to as many businesses as we can to hopefully get as many on board at the end of the day.
Yeah, and so we've put out initial campaign and messages. We're going to do some more on that, and very excited about it. But, everyone watching here and a part of Founders Live, look, we can start the wave. That's the whole point here with this pledge and the things that we're doing. When you see that we talk about it, and we've been doing things like, social posts and tagging other people, and there's a number of our startups as well as our partners that you're going to hear from now, CFO, who joined on. So we thank you all for doing that, but please take part in it and then spread the word. So it's not just you and your organization. Look, you could be a startup, but if you start now with actually accounting for and understanding your carbon footprint as an organization, you're going to make better decisions going forward when you have 20, 50, 1,000 employees. That's the whole point. So Cooper, what would you suggest what would you suggest someone or a founder that's thinking about this, what would you suggest they do? Maybe learn a little bit more about it, and then what would be the steps to take?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first kind of step is obviously, if you ever have any questions, we're happy to help as much as we can outside of from a business perspective or whatever else it is. We're founded to make a difference. So if there are any questions or things that we can always clarify, we're available at RyeStrategy@gmail.com. And then in terms of learning more, always recommend doing your own research and really learning as much as possible. We do have resources on our website, which is RyeStrategy.com. And then if you want to check out the pledge itself and commit, we have a fill-up form at the bottom. And you can see under the pledges, we actually have a very heavy representation from Founders Live, which has been fantastic. And so if you want to check that out, that link is RyeStrategy.com/neutrality-pledge. There's a bunch of information on there, great place for people to sign up, and hopefully we can all start making that difference together.
Yeah, that is awesome. We'll make sure to send out that link to everyone watching. If you didn't jot that down, we'll send that out in the email announcement with our winner tomorrow. If you have questions for Cooper or RyeStrategy, put them in the comments right now. We want to open this up and really make this a community conversation. Nick, do you have any other thoughts? I know you've been working on this for a while.
I do. I think, Cooper, how important do you put this, or where would you rank the importance of not just what you're doing and RyeStrategy, but this whole thing in general? And hey, we've been seeing things this summer that are a direct impact of what we're looking at with the effect on the climate. So how important do you feel that this is in terms of how we all can do this around the world?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and this is kind of for myself personally, why I started caring about it. I mean, it's the issue that overlaps with every other issue. There are a million problems in this world and lots of different things going on, and so much progress and everything else. But if we don't have an environment to support any of what we do, then we don't have any of it. And so in my mind, like this is kind of like a red alert here, because if we don't take action and don't do something about it, then everything else that we have and have had historically and could have in the future, I mean, that could be gone. And so, I never like being the alarmist or anything with that, but it really is one of those issues that we need the environment to be humans. We need the environment to have everything that we have and will have. And so in my mind, it's one of those things that we need to do something about it. Otherwise, we're going to pay the price. And I think for that reason too, now you see, like, even from a business perspective, it makes sense to take that action, and it's something that when customers are afraid of what tomorrow looks like, as a business, not only can we make that green difference, but I think it makes business sense to do it now too. And so I think for those reasons, it's not just one of those things that you do out of goodwill or anything. I think that there's obviously that aspect, and that's super important, but it even dollars and cents makes sense to be taking action right now. It's hopefully something that we can all be able to commit to in that long run and really make that collective difference together, so that we can continue to enjoy our businesses and everything else that we do outside of it.
Amelia, I want you to think about something that you've been wondering, but hey, you're Cooper, you all are, you're students, and I know that you just graduated. Yeah. Congratulations. Welcome to the world, man.
Yeah, thank you.
You realize the fun was back there.
I know. I try not to think about it.
Look, life as an entrepreneur is awesome in many different ways, but not too normal in general that you were still working on finishing college, and you're launching a company, and I mean, how did you balance that?
Yeah, well, it was tough. I'll tell you that. It's definitely a lot at once, but I think again, it's kind of that mix of it's something that feels like it's right to do, and hopefully something that kind of can benefit everyone at the end of the day. And it's fun to run a business too. Like I will say that, even though it's a very serious topic and it's pretty high stakes, like there's a lot to get out of that enjoyment and being able to work with. I think we have like 8 other great people involved with it right now, all students for the most part. And I think just having that chance to really connect and to try and make that difference together and to learn too. I think there's a lot, a year ago, I definitely had no idea about when it came to running a business. And I think that gets a little tough with the homework and the exams and everything else, but always makes it worth it at the end of the day.
That is so awesome. I work with young people at a local university a lot, and I love what you're doing and taking it, running with it. We do have one question from Caesar at Medium. How do you incentivize small, right? How do you try to help people be on that journey wherever they're starting from?
And I would just add, Cesar, I'm guessing here, but it feels like, the question might be, how do you incentivize on such with such small players versus like a Microsoft or a Google that the numbers are a lot bigger and the impact is a lot bigger. But when we're individuals, what's the incentive structure that might work on a very small or very team of 5 or 10 size?
Yeah, it's a great question. And realistically, I'm never going to be the guy that says, if my business goes carbon neutral, that's the same as Microsoft going carbon neutral. Obviously it doesn't work quite that way. But I think, Nick, it's kind of what we've been talking about with the systems change and the fact that we can be that wave together. It's the idea that as small businesses, sure, one of us isn't a Microsoft, but you start to get those numbers together, that makes all the difference. And I think a great example I've had is one, we have a client that's about, they're more in the medium size, but they're about 70, 80 folks working there, and they work with the government all the time. They work with massive corporations. They work with the Defense Administration. So even though we're small businesses, the people that we work with, in some cases can be those large organizations. And if you set that precedent, then there's really, it makes it that much harder for those large organizations to shirk on that responsibility. And I think the other thing is for small businesses, like you said, the impact is a bit smaller environmentally. It also makes it a lot more affordable to take that action. And I think when we go through kind of that collective movement together, that really sends that message for the biggest impactors to also be making that difference. And I think the last thing I would say, just in terms of incentives, again, with direct businesses, especially with B2C, customers really are looking for sustainable brands today. Again, I think it's that 80% that want that in a company and 50% that say that they'll switch brands purely if they can find one that's more sustainable. And we've seen that in our numbers too. I mean, even with the companies we work with, we've seen 368% ROI in 1 year from going carbon neutral and kind of going through that process. So it's not only one of those things where we can make a difference as a small business, as a collection of small businesses, it makes business sense for us to do it too at the end of the day. So that's what I think with the pledge and for small businesses as well.
Well, that's so awesome, man. I am thankful for your team. We're grateful to work with you, and it's a longer road here, and we're in for it. So we encourage you all to be a part of it as well. Join the pledge. The information is in the link in the chat. You get that link. We also will continue to post about it. So please join us on that, everyone. And Amelia, last words here.
Yeah, just going to say thank you so much, Cooper. What you're doing is so impactful, and just blown away by your passion, your drive, and shout out to the youth. Just love what you're doing. I want to encourage everyone at Founders Live. We're a really values-based community. So if this resonates with you, push it at your workplace, push it with your friends. Really, this is going to take everyone opting in. So thank you, Cooper. Thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, please reach out. Sign the pledge.
All right. Thank you both, and thank you all so much.
Yeah. See you later, Cooper.
Oh man, so cool.
And I'm like, it's amazing coming from, and I don't want to be that person already, but I'm like, wow, when we start talking, they're still in school, or some of their teammates are still there. He just graduated, but I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. This is exactly who we want to highlight and partner with.
Such a cool connection. I know you guys are gonna have big things to come. Welcome everyone. If you're just joining us, this is Founders Live. Go ahead, like this YouTube video for us just below. We want to make this really easy for people to find coming around next time. Oh, hey, Dana. Really good to see you here. We have people joining in from all over. I know I saw a couple people. I saw Christopher in the comments. Hey, Jessica. Really good to see you, Jessica. Tuning in from Wallingford, Mr. Alpin, all the way from Santa Monica. Man, what a vibrant community we have here. Oh, hey, John. Joining in from Bellevue. John runs a local Korean startup center. I'm sure you guys will be hearing big things about them soon. So welcome. If you're new to Founders Live, welcome to the community. If you're returning, thank you so much for being here. I know we had planned to be in person this month. Looking like that just wasn't possible, but still these conversations are just as impactful, even if we're calling in from our own living room. So thanks for being here. Go ahead, share up this link, invite your friends. If you're new to Founders Live, it really is a full experience, right? We have virtual pitching, we have competition, we have networking, we have plugging in. So welcome. We're here for inspiration, education, and entertainment. Please plug in, join our global plus local community. We have in-person events, we have hybrid events, we have virtual events. Go to founderslive.com. It is our global social network. All sorts of resources and connections, things you can tap in. Nick was talking about his podcast. This is available on there. Such cool conversations happening from founders around the world. So Founders Live, we always have monthly live events. We have hundreds of guests, 5 of the hottest startup companies in the area. Each of them get a 99-second chance to sell you on their story. You get to ask them your own questions. We have 4 minutes of Q&A, and then the audience votes. We get to pick who we want to represent our Seattle monthly winner. This is being live streamed, obviously, around the world. We have several people calling from California, some from the East Coast. So help join our awesome community. We really are trying to bring entrepreneurship around the world and bring entrepreneurship from around the world home to Seattle. We really are a global city. So thanks for joining us. We're here for the next generation of Founders Live, right? We have city events across the world, performance, competition, networking. Founders Live Seattle is such a fun community. I started coming like 4 or 5 years ago just as a guest. Loved it so much. Here I am leading the monthly event. So tap in. If you're not in Seattle, interested in Founders Live community, you can join us. What started in Seattle is now expanding around the world. So we're in about 75 cities in 26 countries, over 50,000 fans, having hundreds of events each year. So if you're not in Seattle and you want to plug into Founders Live, there's probably either already a Founders Live group in your city, or reach out. You could start one, right? Expand.founderslive.com is how you reach out. Founders Live is built on 4 core values. I said earlier, Founders Live is a really values-based community. This is one of the things that really drew me in, that I resonated with, and found other people that shared those values. So first, respectful authenticity. We include everyone, right? We believe everyone has an equal opportunity to be successful. To gather around the campfire, we're all storytellers, right? Find your campfire, entertain, meet people in the after event. We have a really cool interactive virtual networking experience called Kumo Space. We're going to show you a screenshot a little bit later. But find your people, tell your story, have fun. For anyone that you meet, open the door, right? Do nice things for other people just because, without expecting a return, right? The more that you put out into the universe, the more that comes back to you. So help out others whenever you can. And then finally, we don't have name tags, right? Obviously, we're not in person, but really have fun, be yourself, don't be awkward. We're not trying to be here to, give our little, kind of suit and tie responses to everything. We're being real, we're having fun. So grab yourself a drink, invite a friend. We're gonna get going here really, really soon. First of all, we got to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. These are the people who are with us every month. They make this entire thing possible. They are our backers. So first off, huge shout out to the Collective, Hey, Alex. Alex joining us from the.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good evening.
Hello. So tell us about the collective. We wish we were there in person. We had such a fun event last month, and I'm fingers crossed there for next month. Everyone, even though we're not being there in person, gets a free day pass to go to the collective. So Alex, tell us what it's all about.
Yeah, so we are basically a place to get folks connected around shared passions, whether it's entrepreneurship or skiing. We've got our urban base camp here that I'm sitting in. We've got live music on the patio happening. A lot of different programming going on. We have opportunities for working, hosting meetings. We've got a full restaurant and bar. And then there's also a wellness component. So Peloton bikes, bouldering, you kind of find it all here. So the idea is to support whatever needs you may have as you're working your way through your day. As Amelia mentioned, we'd love to host you for a day pass to get a feel for the experience here. So you'll receive that link, and you can also find that on our website, collectiveseattle.com. We'll miss you, and well, hopefully I'll see you all in person next month.
Oh, thank you so much, Alex. I love the collective. Like, shameless plug, I'm not even a member, but every time I go there to meet someone, I run into literally at least 3 other people who I'm like, I love you. I haven't seen you in forever. So use that day pass. I know that I've used mine. Thank you so much, Alex, and thank you to the collective. All right, next, but certainly never least, the one, the only, Nick Ellingson from WTIA. Nick, if you're in the Seattle ecosystem and you haven't met Nick Ellingson, fix it real quick. He is the center of all cool things. Right.
I appreciate that.
Nick, tell us about it.
Your payment's in the mail. Well, hey, everyone. My name is Nick. I'm with the Washington Technology Industry Association. So we're a nonprofit that supports the tech industry and tech companies with a focus on Washington. But as the largest tech association in the country, we're doing a lot of regional and national work now as well. So, or international as well. So for all you folks who are on the stream but aren't in Seattle, love to connect with you all as well. For the presenters today, you're all getting free membership, so we'll get those set up afterwards. But congrats, welcome to the family. And for others that are interested, so we do everything from product discounts to insurance to events to public policy to a million other things that's relevant to you both now as a startup and as you grow. So you can see my email on the screen. Feel free to reach out. Otherwise, yeah, happy Founders Live, everyone, and I'll see you in the YouTube channel in a second.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nick. Thank you to WTI for being such a big supporter. Awesome to have you here.
Yep. See y'all.
See ya. All right. Next up, we have a now CFO, Bill. Welcome to the party, Bill. How are you doing?
I am doing great. I wish we could all be there in person, but this is still great. So. Yeah.
Well, tell us about now CFO.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of want to start to say, now CFO, we have taken the pledge with RyeStrategy. Obviously, we're a sponsor of Founders Live, but I'm also a member at the collective, and I'm contributing over with the WTIA cohort. So definitely believe in the community here at Founders Live and all the people and connections we get to make here. But, what now CFO is, we're a outsourced operational accounting firm. When Cooper is talking about how much fun it is to run a business, I haven't talked to him personally about this, but I'm guessing he wasn't thinking about accounting when he was listing all the the fun things about running a business, and that's what now CFO is here for. Whether it's you need help with bookkeeping, or maybe you need some of that CFO level guidance, or maybe you need help raising money. Now CFO is here to help you. Accounting might not be fun, but if you can get real information and visibility into what your company's financial situation is, and you can start to make informed business decisions about your company, then it can actually become useful and valuable to you. And that's what we're here to provide.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Bill. Now CFO is such a good partner for Founders Live and all of the startups that we work with. So thanks for being here, Bill. We'll see you in the after party in Kumo Space, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, Bill. Good to see you. All right. Next up, we're going to plug A.B. Bernstein. Troy could not be with us tonight, but if you have anything that you need, any questions asked, they are your startup experts. especially around, legal, getting your company set up, kind of those things that you need to do that are really kind of hard and confusing, reach out to Troy. He's awesome. The Bernstein team will take awesome care of you. So thank you so much to Bernstein. Shout out to Troy. Really excited to have you as part of our team. All right. Next up, we're going to hear from Snoqualmie Casino. Takako, thank you so much for being here. Really great to have Snoqualmie as one of our friends. Takako, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about what Snoqualmie's got going. Oh, we can't quite hear you. The audio's not working for some reason, just on your end. Oh, we can't hear you, but I will. I'll give a big plug to Snoqualmie Casino. They have tons of stuff going on. I am still have my fingers crossed for when we're going to have a Founders Live sleepover at Snoqualmie. It's going to happen, guys. Snoqualmie is open for gaming. They have an awesome loyalty rewards program. Reach out to Takako. Thank you so much for your support of Founders Live. And so the audio isn't working.
Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. I want to just add in here. We'll both say some good stuff about Snoqualmie. Again, we're so appreciative of Snoqualmie's support of entrepreneurship, and part of this partnership is, we want to encourage the creative entrepreneurs from that area, that tribe, that culture. We want to highlight. That's really what diversity is about as well. So Takako, share this with your community. We want to highlight entrepreneurs that could be on this stage from your community as well. And we're just excited to have a two-way partnership. So we thank Snoqualmie Casino. We hopefully will have something in those walls out there when we're able to gather in large groups. So thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Snoqualmie, one of the most entrepreneurial tribes around. Really excited to have them as part of our team. Oh, next up, Melissa Reeves of Fruition, the one, the only. Melissa, we sing your praises all day, every day, but I'll let you do it for once. What are you all about?
You're all so sweet. I'm the pitch coach for Founders Live, but I help in entrepreneurs with their presentations as well as executives on their own keynote speaking. And I help teams create story libraries so that their companies can share stories across the organization when, especially they're talking to clients and partners. So that's who I am. I am extremely excited for tonight. We have the 5 presenters, and out there in audience land, please know that they have only 99 seconds to show us how they are going to change the world. Okay. And we're going to be dropping a lot of information in there. Watch their decks, look at how clean they're trying to present their messaging. These are the types of work that I do with Fruition. I'm very excited, but the goal at the end of that 99 seconds is you get what they do. Yes. And now that's sparking questions. And so those questions that you put into the chat are really valuable, or your high five to them, anything like that, because they've worked really, really hard on these 99 seconds. So super excited. Y'all, you're going to be wonderful. Have fun. And congratulations already for even just stepping up and doing this really fast pitch for your companies and your dreams.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa. Fruition is fantastic. I feel like every conversation I have with our pitchers is always like, Founders Live is amazing. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to work with Melissa. So huge shout out.
Thank you. They're amazing.
You. Hey, Amelia, I wanted to jump in and share something else that, hey, if we were in person, we would be highlighting them. We also want to share that. So you all might remember a number of months ago, one of our winners was the Ally League, Keisha, and we have now partnered with them to bring a special offering and product, which is, they offer black boxes, which are a collection of products and cool little things, services from Black and underrepresented founders and business owners. And we have released the Founders Live Black Box. We're starting in Seattle, and we've already put that together. We encourage you all to go and check that out. When you see information that we present about that, please support that. These are a collection of unique Black-owned businesses that we want to highlight. And this is just the first of a number of Black Boxes that we're excited to roll out, hopefully in other parts of the country. So thank you, Black Box, and for everyone, please do your part to support as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I picked my Founders Live Black Box up at the last event when we were in person. That Noir Luxe candle company, their candle is so good. Even my husband, who's not that into the scenty smells, is like, what is that? That smells nice. So that, there's a candle, a gift card to Jackson's Catfish Corner, tons of other goodies in there, a CD from the Martial Law Band. They're a Pulitzer nominated local group, so really cool stuff. We'll make sure to send out that link to all of you guys in the morning with our kind of recap for you all. Real quick, I do want to give a shout out to Invis. They are one of our supporters. They couldn't be here, but they have honestly one of my favorite videos, even though it's a commercial. Check this out, guys. It's great. Let me make sure that I'm sharing my video audio real quick. It's been a minute since we've been all online.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Hi, I'm Priyansha Bagaria, co-founder of Invis AI. We are a technology consulting company engaging with early stage and fast growing startup by making cloud AI ML technologies available at affordable cost and a quick turnaround time. So you have a great idea, but you come from a business background. You don't know how to go about your product in terms of technical capabilities, right? And whom to hire, how to start with such a limited resources and time. So there, Invis AI comes in picture as a one-stop shop, to cater to all your technical requirements. So you can focus on your selling your product, and we can focus on building your product right.
They are such a cool company. We really appreciate all of their support. Are you guys almost ready to hear these awesome pitches?
I am ready. They've been prepared. They've been trained. They've practiced. There's a lot on the line. I'm ready. I hope you all are ready as well.
Okay, one last time, like this video for us. If you have someone who hasn't tuned in yet, send them this link. This same YouTube URL will work to play the recording later, so make sure that you can find it again. It is showtime, guys. Here we go. Everyone gets 99 seconds, 4 minutes of Q&A. Afterwards, we're going to be in the after party. This really cool platform called Kumo Space. It feels like you're networking, in a circle with people. We have an awesome lineup. I think our founders are all going to be able to join us in the after party Kumo Space. So if you want to ask them some questions that you maybe didn't get in during the Q&A, sync up with them. We're going to have 5 companies. They're going to pitch in this order. You, the audience, are going to vote, not until after all the pitches are in. No early voting. We won't count it. But first up, we are going to have Curievision. So Michael from Curievision, really excited to have you here today. Go ahead and pull you up. And Michael, whenever you're ready, take it away.
This is Raphael. He's the director of an e-commerce furniture aggregator with tens of thousands of products. His company doesn't have any showrooms, so he's at a disadvantage to competitors who have physical stores. Raphael knows that with augmented reality, he can get a 20% lift in sales, AR replaces the tape measure, giving shoppers at home a sense of size and fit, displaying products in a virtual showroom with millimeter accuracy. However, AR requires 3D. It's expensive and time-consuming, needing an army of 3D modelers. Curie overcomes the stagnation in the 3D industry with an API to access 3D for any product. Our customers reach profit sooner at pennies per view than millions upfront. Curie generates 3D from 2D image galleries already on the web. We blend self-improving computer vision with the realism of AAA video games. In just 3 months, we've received orders to represent over 200,000 products in 3D, projected to generate $1 million in a year. Curie charges $14 per 1,000 product views. Our initial focus is to acquire 10 furniture customers in 18 months, giving us a run rate of 10 million. Our team co-founded GameSalad, which did no code a decade before it was cool. We made the first no-code game engine for iOS and Android, which we scaled up to over 3 million brands and creators, reaching 100 million players per month. Curie is raising a 2 million seed and has lead VCs interested to enter technical due diligence, and we received hard commits from smart money. They believe that 3D made with machine learning is inevitable. How about you?
Great job, Michael. Congratulations. You even had seconds to go. I could tell you have been practicing with Melissa. So first off, tell us, like, what industries are you focusing on, or, you know, who's that first consumer that you're really going after?
We're mostly focusing on home furnishings and goods, particularly with products that have a size component to the purchasing decision of a shopper.
Cool. So I've seen your demo video before, and it looks so awesome. What's your first rollout? Like, where will I be able to, you know, point my camera and use the Curievision?
You'll mostly find us on our customers' websites. A lot of them employ Shopify, so we've created a Shopify app so that they can easily generate HTML that they can include in their product pages.
Cool. So what stage is your company in right now? Kind of like, you said that you're growing, but what's your current status and what's the next step for you?
We're currently launching with our first customer, which is a major furniture aggregator. They're looking to be the Wayfair of Europe. They're very bullish on AR, and we're helping to supply AR for all of their products.
Awesome. So starting out in kind of that furniture area, because I've tried to do the Amazon, you know, AR, what's this couch going to look in my living room? Not great, not great. But I love what you're doing. So what do you need most right now from this community?
We're looking to raise a 2 million seed, and we have investors that are interested to learn more. So we've already been prepping a data room for them, and we received some wires from very smart individuals, leaders that are in the Seattle community around XR. We've also received money from folks that know artificial intelligence. They were the authors of TensorFlow. They work at Google Brain, and we checked 2 boxes for them. 1, is this novel? And then 2, is this possible? And because we did both, it was very easy for them to come in.
That is so cool. So what's kind of, you know, the next piece of the puzzle that you need? If anyone has a question that they want to ask for Michael, I know I've just been popping in my own, but let me know. Oh, Zayed, love this question. You mentioned you were raising a seed round. When you get the money, what's it going towards mainly?
So we're looking to bring the process down to create 3D to seconds. When you can build in seconds, you can generate tens of millions of models per year, easily cornering the entire 3D market. And then from there, we're looking to integrate with major websites and apps to reach billions.
Well, great pitch, Michael. Thank you so much. Congratulations going first. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Great work. We will see you in the after party for Kumo Space. Tim, I see you have a question. You'll have to ask that in the after party. All right. Thanks, Michael. Going to go ahead and pull you off. Next up, we will have Afterlife Listings. Another young entrepreneur. We're going to go ahead and bring on Aiden. Aiden, Welcome. Thanks so much for being here for Founders Live. Thanks for talking to us about Afterlife Listings. We're going to have you go ahead and pull up your slides here, and we'll let you give us your pitch.
Oh, so sorry. It looks like the wrong slide. Okay, can you see this now?
Perfect. That looks great. Okay, Aiden, take it away whenever you're ready.
Afterlife Listings is the first e-commerce platform for burial plot transactions. Now, unfortunately, this project started when my friend Clara had her uncle pass away. And if your family is anything like Clara's, they're going to spend an average of 570 hours across the industry for any family to navigate just after the passing of a loved one. And like most families, Clara's started online. Unfortunately, they soon found out that the best place that you could really find any sort of pricing or any other information was a place like Craigslist, where scams run rampant, preying on grieving individuals. So in this equation, where are the cemeteries? Our answer, the Rolodex. Unfortunately, most cemeteries are still using this for most of their management as well as sales. So Afterlife Listings comes along to digitize all of their documents, increase their margins while reducing staff time necessary to sell, while giving individuals pricing, plot verification, as well as financing online. They're able to find a cemetery, look for a plot, complete a transaction, which is then sent directly to the cemetery itself. This is a $4.2 billion industry that's ripe for innovation with our 2 subscription plans, one with additional marketing capability. Now, we're in 3 cemeteries today, 2 publications, as well as have won the Dempsey Startup Competition and are in the Jones Foster Accelerator. This is my 3rd time being a CEO and 2nd time working with my COO, Clara Kobagashua. And today, we're very excited to be welcoming on additional software engineers as well as industry partners. Thank you.
Great work, Aiden. Congratulations on your budding startup. Such a cool business, such a cool idea. You know, the afterlife is not something that we always want to think about. So I love that you're making it more accessible to people. What's your initial go-to-market strategy? How are you kind of reaching out to people, letting them know if this is an option?
Yeah, so right now we're working with our vendors to expand our audience. And what they're doing is, because most of these cemeteries out there don't have a website. If they do, they have maybe a PDF. I encourage everyone watching to go, look up some cemeteries and see what it's like out there. We are being given to their customers who are trying to go remotely and things like that. So it's been an amazing side of organic growth from the cemetery vendors, as well as increasing, obviously, our marketing online and SEO.
Awesome. Blake has a great question. Aiden, how are you addressing the rise in cremations and pre-need? I'm not familiar with what that is, but.
Yeah, I'll even start on the whole pre-need side of things. Afterlife Listings really is intending to be the center for any sort of pre-need. What that means is someone who's planning in advance, buying, say, a burial plot before the time of death to plan and do the responsible thing for their family. It's fantastic, and there has been a rise in recent years, but that rise has been up to about 16% of individuals plan pre-need, and that's really the responsible thing that we want to encourage more people to do. So what we're able to do through our lead generation through the site is allow cemeteries to more effectively market their pre-need services. When it comes to cremations can still be buried, and what we found due to the rising population rates and things like that, across the cemetery industry, there has been consistent growth rather than reduction, even as cremations rise. And we see this as a viable opportunity to move into later on.
Awesome. Dad asks, where are you right now with the current cemeteries? Are they loving this idea, or, maybe feeling a little threatened? Is your concept live? Are consumers already using it? Kind of where are you at with all of those?
Yeah, so first of all, our concept is live at afterlifelistings.com. We're very excited about that. And when it comes to the cemeteries themselves, initially, we had all these great ideas and wanted to do all these great things, but something that I think, anyone on here can tell us is, you really need to put this in the hands of people to see if they're going to like it and if they're going to use it. So what we've been doing with these 3 cemeteries is just iterating, prototyping, just keep on refining our product so that they do love it. And right now we have cemeteries that are, essentially saying, hey, if we can get us live, then I want you to take my 10 other cemeteries live too.
So Melissa has a great question. How do you see this service as we travel into our more digital future?
Yeah, so, right now, enough people are comfortable working online, having large scale transactions. The average price, in Washington for a burial plot is $7,500. And that's a hefty price. But what we've seen is the trends are moving towards more and more people being comfortable with that and preferring to go online. When it comes to things like pre-need, when you're planning in advance, most people don't want to go to a cemetery. And when it comes to people wanting to understand where the burial plot is, that's why we offer things like virtual tours. And we really want to integrate into this new digital life that Melissa brought up.
Okay, last question. Daniel asks, what's the biggest problem that you're currently facing?
Yeah, so, it really has to do with scale at this point. We have a lot of demand, and that's why, we're seeking additional software engineers and developers. But, we're just so excited to be on this wild ride and to have interest in the industry.
Awesome. Well, great work, Aiden. Congratulations on everything you've already accomplished, and really excited to hear from you more in the after party.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, great work, Aiden. All right, next up, we are going to have Microclimates welcoming Netta in. Hey, Netta. All right. Oh, go ahead and make sure that we can see your slides and present. Beautiful. Okay, take a deep breath. Whenever you're ready, take it away.
Great. Thanks so much, Melissa. We're ready to go. The world population is expected to increase to 9 billion by 2050, which means that we need to increase our food production drastically. The climate change has had an impact, and we have lost more than 40% of our arable farmland. So what's the solution in feeding the growing population? Indoor farming. Indoor farming is a solution, and an owner operator needs to be able to manage their HVAC systems, their temperature, their lights, and their watering systems. Today, all those systems sit in silos, and Microclimates, what we've done is we integrate these systems so they can all speak to one another. We provide the operator a user interface to be able to control and automate their operation from one dashboard. This is going to provide them operational efficiencies and better crop predictability. I'm the CEO of Microclimates. My name is Netta. I have 20 years of experience in the food industry, and I have a background in environmental health science and an MBA. My business partner is Lauren West. He's a CTO and the founder. He has an extensive background in enterprise software development. He's founded a company and sold a company. We've been focusing our energy on the indoor farming market, and our sales channels have been both direct and through value-added resellers. Year to date, we've generated $71,000 in revenue with 11 customers, have all been paid beta sites. That's $190,000 in our pipeline currently. We're asking for $1 million to help us scale the business for product development, personnel, marketing, and more. Thank you so much for your time.
Great work, Netta. Right on time. So tell us, first off, what's your pricing and what's it like compared to your competitors?
Yeah, our pricing model right now has been set. We're not in a SaaS model right now. We started off with a pricing model that was a hardware with a little bit of an annual fee just to get our foot into the market. And that's how we were able to gain this traction. Our competitors are ranging anywhere from the legacy market, such as the Argus systems that are more hardware-focused companies, all the way to companies that are new, that are focusing on just the software. And what makes us really unique is that we both have hardware and software coupled together, so we can provide a total vertical solution from an environmental monitoring perspective.
Awesome. Who would you say kind of are your biggest competitors out there right now?
The biggest competitors right now, again, they're going to be either in the hardware side or on the software side. So there's new companies that are coming in because this is such a new industry. There's companies like Grownetic that has entered the market, GrowIQ. These are some great companies out there that are, again, more on the software side with a little bit of hardware. And then the major ones that have had, traction for 40 years are the Priva and the Argus systems that are on the hardware side and not on the software. So when customers are asked to create new software for them, it's a little bit of a challenge. So we're kind of in this sweet spot between hardware and software.
Awesome. Great question from Dana. How does your product save customers money and reduce water use?
Wonderful question, Dana. Thanks for that question. From a water use perspective, I'll go ahead and address that first. First, we're working on closed loop systems from an irrigation perspective. So what's happening is that they're able to use their the runoff water from watering the plants, recycle that, perhaps run it through a reverse osmosis, clean it, filter it, and put that back into watering the plants. So from a water use perspective, indoor farming can be very, very efficient if designed properly from the very beginning. Customers are saving money because at the end of the day, by automating your environment, by controlling and automating it, you're going to improve your labor efficiencies, and you're going to have better crop yield predictability. And ultimately, it's all about, can you run more efficient, use less people, and use less water and energy.
Awesome. Hey, Randy, Papa Randy in the house from RKM Holdings. Which crops work best with your system? Is it any sort of crop, or is there ones that are, more effective? Where's your kind of first launch market?
Yeah. Thanks, Randy, for that question. Our first launch market has been in the cannabis industry, and specifically because the cannabis industry, in Washington State, clearly, we were the first ones to go to legalize. There's more funding in that industry. So as far as which crops does it work with, it's crop agnostic. We have launched in household indoor plants, the companies that are selling to Lowe's and Home Depot. We have customers in the cannabis industry. We also have customers in the produce industry and customers that are now going to be launching in the strawberry industry in the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is going to be huge in providing sustainability to the folks in the U.S. Virgin Island.
Awesome. Okay, we have time for one more question. What do you need most right now from the community? How can we help you?
Thank you for that question. Besides your fantastic support, we are ready to scale. It's been two of us, myself and Lauren West. And again, we generated $71,000 in revenue year to date, but it's about scalability. So we need to hire developers. We need to hire salespeople, marketing. We've already spoken to a patent attorney. We need to go to market for IP. So we need financial support and just your commitment to us and our commitment back to you that we're going to make a difference in what we're doing.
Oh, okay. One last question. Since the hardware software solution, how hard has it been to onboard customers to your service? Is it something that they're able to pick up, or what's that look like?
Yeah. Thanks for that question. We have put a lot of effort. We really took this mentality of Amazon and Nordstrom, which is all about customer service. So we made sure that from the very beginning, we were hand-holding our customers from an onboarding perspective. So it hasn't been that difficult. Once the customer receives the product, we've created quick start guides for them. They can go on our website. We have weekly meetings with them. We help them with connecting the systems together. If they need to hire an electrician, they hire that. And then we help them with the software development. The other thing is because they've all been paid beta sites, a lot of times they're asking us to write new software. We write new software, put that into our over-the-air updates, and all of a sudden, all of our customers have new software.
Great. Well, that is all the time that we have. I know there's at least one or two more questions in the chat. Come join us in Cumulus Space afterward. We'll be able to get those questions answered one-on-one. Great job, Netta. Thank you so much for pitching. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, up next, we have Roger from Medium Collective. Roger, really excited to have you. Go ahead and pull you in. Get your slides ready. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Roger, really good to have you. And whenever you're ready, you can go ahead, take it away.
Perfect. Well, hello everyone. 7 years ago, my brother Cesar and I, we're good? I think we're having some technical issues. Cool. Okay.
You're good. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Hello everyone. 7 years ago, my brother Cesar and I started building a very successful streetwear brand called Mediums Collective. Doing so, we quickly realized that there was a lot more BIPOC co-creators that needed representation. So we expanded doing our business into a highly populated networking events. Being heavily involved in our community, we know for a fact that we contribute so much to the economy and culture. Yet when we seek for financial resources, society and banking institutions tend to label us high risk. When the reality is, we're one of the most hardworking people out there. BIPOC-owned businesses have outpaced non-BIPOC-owned businesses in growth by 27%. 27%. And so our vision is to create a more stabilized, permanent space where BIPOC creatives can have a resource to collaborate, co-create, and economically empower each other. We're asking for a financial contribution for a $3 million investment to acquire this physical location. This would go towards land acquisition, renovations, equipment and software, and marketing and payroll. It is time to stop this false narratives, and it is time to start investing in communities of color. Trust me, when we are given the resources, we can really turn anything into gold. Thank you very much for your time.
Great work, Roger. Fantastic pitch. You were under time. I
let's go.
Seeing the photos in your deck. Okay, so what's your go-to-market strategy for this?
Well, currently right now, so we're using parking lots and public spaces to really create this cultural network. So that's really what we've been doing. We've been doing events, consecutive events back to back with about 1,000 consumers attending on a consecutive basis. And we have been able to put on about 100 plus local artists and 100 plus small businesses in these spaces. So really the goal here is how can we turn that blueprint that we've established literally in the streets and put it in a more permanent solution, you know?
Yeah, I love that. What's kind of the first step on that journey look like for you? And you've been having these awesome outdoor events, getting communities together. The goal is to launch a physical space. What are some of the stepstones on that journey?
Really right now, so it's just, we're currently trying to finance to purchase the land. So then that way we can invest it in an opportunity zone location and bring it, to that permanent space. So really it's just right now we're just really trying to raise funds, acquire this land, and then really just turn this blueprint and turn it into an actual physical location.
Love that. Love it. What areas are you looking to purchase land in?
Right now, we're actually looking at, the goal here is to bring resources where there's not a lot of resources, right? So we're looking for a lot of opportunity zones. We're trying to keep it in the King County area. We're looking, there's a few warehouses where we're looking at in what's it called? White Center, Soto District, South Seattle, the Central District. So we're really trying to bring it where it has been, for communities that has been marginalized and under-resourced.
And until we get that physical space, where can we find you?
Right now, you can find us every Friday at LTD. We're doing these things Fremont Fridays where we are hosting these spaces. But if not, right now we are a clothing brand, so we do have everything online. Mediumscollective.com is where you can go and check out the full catalog. At Instagram, at Mediums Collective, you should be able to see pretty much our full catalog. We're doing a boat cruise where we're bringing pretty much the culture, local artists, local vendors, local sponsors, local companies, and we're putting it in the water. So that's going to be a really cool experience. And yeah, just mediumscollective.com.
Awesome. So what would you invest in aside from, real estate ownership?
So there's a few, so our business model has been kind of versatile. So we're a clothing brand, right? So we would really invest in the next merchandise as well, right? So then, because music and culture kind of go hand in hand, we would invest in this new production line that we got going on right now. It's a full designer line, and then turn it into an event as a marketing promotion. So, trying to collaborate with big clothing brands in Seattle. We're trying to collaborate with Macklemore's brand. We're trying to collaborate with a brand called ETC. There's a lot of big players here in Seattle in this industry. So when we drop this new collection, it's kind of marketed in a way where we can collaborate with these big players and kind of have a big marketing scheme, and also try, because clothing brings culture. So we're just trying to kind of integrate it all.
Awesome. Okay, guys, we have time for one last question. Put it in the chat right now, and we will try to get to it. If not, save it for the Kumo Space after party. Okay, Roger, what do you need most right now from this community?
From this community, it's really, like I said, so we are trying to acquire this physical space. That is a vision and our goal for 2021. So really just resources, financial resources. We are looking for grants. We are looking for small business loans, commercial loans that are offered to community-based companies. And then really any angel investors that is open to really invest in us, in our community. Like I said, when you're investing in us, you're not only investing in our company and ourselves, but you're also investing in the BIPOC community, which has been, unrepresented for so long. So really financial resources.
Awesome. I love it. Put your money where your mouth is, folks.
Right.
Okay. Great work, Roger. Shout out to Mediums Collective. Love what you guys are doing. Great work on your pitch. Despite the technical difficulties, rolling with it. Congratulations, Roger. We'll see you in the after party.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the platform.
Absolutely. All right. So next up, we will have Harvest Direct. Really excited to have these folks come over for our last but not least pitch of the evening. Okay, Z, we'll go ahead and get you added to the screen. Make sure your presentation's in the right mode. Okay. Z, whenever you are ready, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, thank you. Harvest Direct is a cannabis technology company located in Tacoma, Washington. We create and patent technologies that preserve the medical benefits of cannabis from plant to product. Cannabis can help millions, if not billions of people. People like my cousin who is addicted to opioids, people like my mom who has fibromyalgia, or people like my co-founder's kids who have epilepsy and autism. When your loved ones are suffering, you do anything in your power to give them the best care possible. And that's why we do what we do. Our overarching vision is to replace drugs like Ambien with a total spectrum Bubba Kush capsule, to replace OxyContin with Blue Dream, to replace Adderall with Thai Stick, to create medicine that is safe, affordable, and effective for everyone who needs it. Cannabis is the most versatile herbal remedy in the world. Different strains of cannabis contain different medical benefits. But the problem is traditional processing methods drastically reduce those medical benefits. Our patented technology, Lacey, preserves the medical benefits from plant to product, and in doing so, we unlock the versatility of cannabis, bridging the gap between cannabis and medicine. My co-founder and I are both chemists, and we've surrounded ourselves with a team that has expertise in marketing, finance, operations, sales, and everything in between. The first brand powered by our technology has done just under $200,000 in the first year of operations while helping people with anxiety and sleep issues, and we also have a 12% month-over-month growth rate. We won 2 first-place High Times Cups this year, and Leafly named us one of the top 10 emerging technologies. This slide shows our raise progress, and that QR code takes you to our 6-minute pitch video. Thank you.
Right on time. Great job, Z. Fantastic work. Really, really cool stuff that you got going on. What's your plan to really expand your market position, and why is it a better choice than others?
Also, it's a better choice than others because we're able to capture the full efficacy of the flower we start with. So like I said, different strains have different effects, and we're the first people able to capture that into a non-smoked form like a capsule. And this is our sleep variety. This is a product sample that we have for investors. And then expanding on the market position. So first, we're going to go to market with solo deployments now that we've proven the concept with Yips. And then after that, we're going to take our technology and our brands as a package and franchise them state by state and internationally as well.
Ooh, interesting. I like the franchise aspect of this. So yeah, talk more about what's that big vision here.
So the big vision is to replace dangerous pharmaceutical drugs, things that are addictive, things that if you take more than you're supposed to, you might not wake up the next day, to replace those with a holistic plant-based alternative, and to unlock the versatility of cannabis in doing that. So there are strains of cannabis that mimic the effects of Adderall. There's strains of cannabis that mimic the effects of Ambien. And at the end of the day, they're milder, safer, and better for you. And like I said, this comes from a personal need to create these products for the people that we love.
So what's the benefit of kind of using your things, and what's the pricing compared to maybe other competitors? Kind of what's the value add for the consumers through this whole thing?
For sure. So the value add to the consumer is that the total plant profile has more efficacy, which literally means they're getting more bang for their buck. So like our 10 milligram capsule, because it's got the total profile, it feels like a 20 or a 30 milligram capsule from a competitor. So yeah, it allows us to have better margins, and all of that is inherent to the way we design the technology.
Cool. So you're raising funds. What's that funding mainly going towards?
So we've got a 3-part plan. Number one, we're going to file 22 patents to continue to build that moat around lossless cannabis processing, going from plant to product while maintaining everything. Number two, we're going to launch Total CBD, which is essentially going to be Yips, but in different strains with a different brand. So this supply chain is already built out. And then lastly, we're going to launch weed pills and weed pens into the Washington I-502 market, so dispensaries here in Washington. And these products, weed pills and weed pens specifically, they're positioned towards the 20% of consumers that consume 80% of the product. So people who are not worried about the stigma, and people who are looking for value, so they're looking for value and they're looking for quality. And that's what this product brings to the table.
Awesome. Then we have time for one more question. Dan, awesome prompt. What are the cannabis regulatory challenges or claims requirements for this?
Yeah, so the regulatory challenges are that we cannot have a centralized processing facility for THC and then ship to all 50 states, where we can on the CBD side. And that's why the need for franchising and combining the technology with our brands and expanding state by state, that's the need for that. It's a regulatory hurdle, and that's the way to get over it. As far as making claims, we don't do that ourselves. So there's companies like Leafly who bin the strains based on certain effects. And then we're also planning to form a focus group and let our consumers bin the product themselves. Like if we label this as sleep, do the people taking it agree that this is sleep? And if they do, great, we keep pushing it. If they don't, then we need to look at alternative strains, alternative profiles.
Really cool. So Z, when can I buy this in stores?
So 3 months after we close funding, and we've set our closing date at September 15th. So at the beginning of the next year, hopefully we're on store shelves.
Love it. Love it. So New Year's ringing it in?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay. Well, great job, Z. Congratulations on all of your success so far, and great pitch. Let's give it up.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. What an awesome lineup. These pitchers today have really been putting in such fantastic work. Nick, welcome back to Seattle. What a great lineup we have. I'm so glad I don't get to vote because I could not decide.
That was amazing. All the presenters, great job. Melissa's always doing her job. So I was very impressed. This is smooth flying by. We've this is going as well as we can have it when it's virtual. Obviously we've had enough practice, and we might have more practice this winter, but this has been so great, and we are ready to vote. So you'll see down below, there is the URL to vote that. You can type that into your phone. You can scan that with your phone. We will post the link in the chat there for the voting. And hey, everyone, we're going to take a few minutes. We're going to take about 5 minutes, and we're going to vote. And if Melissa is there, I'm actually going to just call her out and bring her on stage, and we'll have a little bit of a dialogue here as we're waiting to vote. But let's make sure that the chat has the voting link in there. Let us know if you can't click that voting link. There you go.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, hang on.
They're awesome. Yes.
Yes.
Melissa gets to see the behind the scenes. She's the only one who knows the pitches before tonight. I haven't seen the pitches before tonight, so it's always so fun and exciting to see how far they've come. I usually talk to them before they talk to Melissa, and then 3 weeks later, they have a completely different pitch. They're so excited about their story. It's just incredible to see.
And it's so much fun too. What I really love is the openness of the founders, because again, this is not your traditional way of pitching. It's usually been the problem with the slides and a whole bunch of data on the slides, and then the solution. And by going into story narrative and pulling out images and trying to keep their communication train on the tracks, meaning like you're not putting slides up that are going to usurp your listening audience, but you're going to enhance it. So way to go, everybody. I was so proud of you. There was a few tweaks last second that I hadn't even seen, but I was like, love it. Good job. And again, in 99 seconds, we can't show everything. We can't show every element that an investor can need, but I hope that it has given you enough to know about these companies for you to then inquire more. And then they're ready for their 3 minute, their 5 minute, their 10 minute. So this is just like phase one of getting to know a company and its vision.
Melissa, we've talked a lot about storytelling and wrapping that into your pitch. What is like, if you could boil it down to the top one tip that a founder should think about when they're crafting even their 99-second pitch, or like the kind of short 5 minute less pitch, what is your first top number one advice for that?
Great question. And I would have to say is know your audience. Who are you selling to? Who is your customer? And what is their problem that you're going to solve? And then show it. Show that very quickly, and then move into the science of that business. Number one, like my favorite thing is once we understand the audience during all of these founder meetings, we go running over to my Adobe, plug for Adobe, my stock images, and we start looking for those images to start to show it. Because again, a picture says 1,000 words, right? And so if you can quickly show them and then have like the emotion of the customer or whatever, you can show that person having that problem. You don't even have to say it, right? So keep your slides simple so that your words are able to tell the listener what you want. So you know your story.
Yeah. And it's easier said than done. And I almost emailed this to you, Melissa. I almost sent this to you, which is I just found this article that was like PowerPoint is dead. And hey, even if you're associated with Microsoft here, sorry. And it's not just the product. It's the format, the bullet points, reading everything on your slides. So, it's the design and then the practice, understanding how to vocally describe and have energy into your pitch, all of that. You can design your pitch slides in different, whether it is PowerPoint or whatever, but it's how you craft that entire experience, not just story, not just kind of having this wrap in, but the visual, the point was, everyone, and I just remembered it. When a speaker is reading what's on the slide directly, the audience doesn't retain as much. It's because they're trying to read it. If you have a sentence on the slides, people are going to read it. And then when you're the presenter, when you're literally reading what's on the slide, the audience doesn't retain it as percentage high enough, as high as percentage, as if you didn't have the sentence there and you were telling them what the slide meant. rather than having the information on it. Does that make sense? And, maybe just tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that is a big part of the work that I do. So it's not just the content. It's the fact that you don't want to kill them by PowerPoint or Canva or whatever that platform is that you are the most powerful person in the world when you're the storyteller. That's a quote from Steve Jobs. We all know this quote, I hope. And your job is to keep the train of communication on the tracks. And so when you're reading the slide, the audience is very intelligent. And you're right. Like I'll try to race to see if I can read it before they're done. And you take them out. Or if you use a word that is an acronym and you assume everyone knows what it means, you take them out. And so you have to be very cognizant of what you're saying and how you're showing it and keeping the images simple. I see so many slides that are just the kitchen sink. And oftentimes I see slides where one slide should probably be 3 separate slides. So there is a lot. You're right. It's not easy. That's why I have a job. I'm happy to help. But, again, we haven't really been taught this. This is kind of a new format of using storytelling skills in an investor pitch. So I commend everyone. They were super open. I love Founders Live embracing this format. Thank you. And again, thanks to everyone listening and watching tonight.
Well, thank you, Melissa. It was awesome to just chat with you real quick. And we'll see you and others in the Kumo Space Networking. You can find that link. We'll share that again. But please join us, everyone, where we all are able to see each other and hang out and talk.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And I want to give a shout out again to all of our supporters, all of our friends who make this possible, our sponsors. Really quick, before I let Nick tell you what's going on, we got to give a shout out to TriNet. TriNet is one of our favorite folks in the room. So really quick, check out their quick audience contribution from afar.
We've got an investor meeting in 48 hours. We got this. Got to recharge.
We're gonna have funds for this. Wait, did I say that out loud?
Aggressive approval. Let's get I was gonna say coffee. Yeah, that too.
You want a full compliance review, don't you? Gig workers, minimum wage, independent contractors, non-exempt versus exempt, full-time, part-time, vacation, etc. This is just California from 2017.
FYI, TriNet can help us think about this whole compliance review thing. I'm going to sign us up. Thanks, team.
TriNet, we keep you going so you can keep on growing.
Shout out to TriNet. If you guys need any HR connections, they are your people. Okay, Nick, I'll let you get back into it.
We had a great showing tonight, a lot of votes. All the presenters and pitches were top notch. So congratulations, everyone. But we have a winner.
Oh!
All right, Afterlife. Oh my God. And do we have Aiden here?
I saw Aiden just a second ago. Aiden, come on to the live stream if you're around. I know that he probably popped over to Kumo Space to start the networking with everyone. Congratulations. I love it when the young visionaries get the feedback from the communities. What they're doing is important. What they're doing is impactful. So congratulations to Aiden and Afterlife.
Hi, we're watching through the YouTube stream link. Thank you so much. This is amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everyone. And, I was blown away with everyone else who's presenting today. I'm just excited to be part of the community.
Yes. Aiden, man, all I can say is congratulations. It's a great honor to, have you part of this as well. And then, now you will be a part of Founders Live Primetime, which that is, hold on. I'm doing this in real time. Founders Live Primetime, and I will talk about Founders Live Primetime in a second, a little in more depth, but you now elevate to that, and it's our global competition that you do have to do some qualification, but we already have one Seattle representative for Founders Live Primetime North America, and we basically have 5 regions of the world, and we have competitions with our winners from those cities and those regions. So hopefully you get there. And that is just so exciting. But what I want to ask, and Amelia, let's go with one more question from you, as we also celebrate from people all around. I'm going to move you up here so you don't cover your face there. But Aiden, so, talk to us a little bit about the vision. Let's literally go out 5 to 10 years, maybe longer, right? Like there's a need for this, and there is, it's going to be different as it was compared to 50 to 100 years ago. Talk to us about your vision of that.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting with burial plots because it is, the hardest thing to deal with in person, as well as something, incredibly difficult to do online, obviously today. But, we really envision moving on to the entire funeral industry. The ideal setting is one day you'd be able to log on and get everything done so that, 570-hour statistic of spending after a loved one passes away can be brought way down. We just want to make things as easy as possible and as comfortable for, grieving families.
Yeah, this is so cool, Aiden. And, as an adult with parents who are very, vital and, both working full time, but I'm starting to recognize that this is something I need to be able to think about. So I love the fact when you talked about the pre-need services and kind of what that looks like. I started looking at your website and I realized how little I understood about, different plots. What's the difference between a $3,000 one and a $75,000 one, and how much space do I need? And it was both overwhelming and so comforting to be able to go and check out what you guys have. But what is, kind of that client services, or kind of beyond just the listing that you're hoping to get to?
Yeah, so first of all, the education standpoint is something that the world is really lacking. I myself, before getting into this, didn't know an incredible amount about the industry. So few people do, and the education part is something we're really working on. My co-founder is constantly making new content that allows us to help people in that situation that might not know so much about the industry itself. But really where we see this going beyond all this is we're trying to connect people. So in the cemetery industry, there's vendors that want to be more connected to this audience that they have. And there's people who are changing their ways. Unfortunately, since pretty much the 80s, the industry hasn't changed a wild amount. So I think we see ourselves being, primarily a marketplace that we want to offer both vendors and customers an easier, more efficient process.
And Aiden, we have someone asking, what's your website again, so people can check it out?
Yeah, you can find us at afterlifelistings.com. And just thank you so much to everyone out there. And this has been amazing.
Well, thank you.
Great work, Aiden, and fantastic work for all of these pictures. Everyone who presented tonight was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to jumping over to Cumulus Space, getting to do a little circle up with all of you guys. So congrats, Aiden. Congrats to Michael, Z, Netta, Roger, and all of our Founders Live fans. Thank you for being here with us. I know this is a quick shift to virtual, but, what would it be if not entrepreneurs who could adapt to something on the last minute? So great work, Aiden. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks to all of our founders. And thanks, Nick, for launching this fantastic community. It has been just a highlight for me for the last several years. So I love having you back home.
Thank you. It's been awesome. And I'm going to share real quick before everyone goes. I want to talk about prime time, and I'm going to share a quick slide real quick, actually. So let's see if I can do this real quick. But we have some exciting stuff coming up for Founders Live Prime Time. So actually, Aiden, I'm going to pull you off. So great job. We'll see you.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. And then Amelia, I'll drop you off real quick. All right. So prime time, everyone. I'm going to share a quick note here, and we have an amazing lineup coming down the pipeline starting in October. Founders Live Primetime is our global series competition where these are all, they will highlight 5 winners from each of the regions. And these are Founders Live events. And these are celebrations of culture and entrepreneurship, specifically for North America. That'll be October 13th. Latin America, the LATAM event will be October 20th. That'll be in Spanish, just so you all know. Then the APAC, Asia, Southeast Asia event will be October 27th. Awesome representation from Indonesia, Japan, India. So excited there. African event will be November 3rd. Europe will be November 10th. You're all invited. We encourage you to take part in all of those. Why? Because it's basically like watching a Founders Live. It's like Shark Tank. And you're going to meet people, entrepreneurs and creatives from all over the world. Why would you just attend North America? You want to probably meet people and maybe partner with them or get to know them. So these are events that encourage all of us. So we're excited. And then we have Live Fest at the end of the year. That is the winners from each one will compete. And then we have our competition and our, great little mini summit. We don't do a big summit yet, but that's our fun gathering for everyone and, to crown the top presenter and pitch competition in the world. So make sure you get your tickets. I shared the link there, North America first, and then you can find all of the events. Please join us. It's going to be awesome. So stop sharing my screen there. I'm going to bring Amelia back up. So she better to be ready.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here. I'm always ready. No, I am getting ready for Kumo Space. I'm going to pull up this screenshot. This is all of us networking at one of our past events. It really feels like you're circled up, with a beverage. So join us over there. Wow, what an awesome show, Nick. I gotta say, honestly, I was a little bummed about not being able to do the in-person, and this was so fun. I think it's the community, it's the connection, it's that, kind of recurring support, collaboration, love that just feeds my soul. And I gotta say, I'm like feeling so high right now from just like the positivity of this community. The carbon neutrality pledge is just, something so cool to be on kind of the forefront of.
Of course, it's hard to replicate in 100% the in-person events, but we do our best here with the virtual. And these happen all over the world. I mean, look, Indonesia, which we've launched it's like 12, actually it's 8 or 10 launched, but we have about 15 cities just in Indonesia alone, and they're all virtual. And they haven't even tried the in-person. So most of our cities are still virtual, and we do the thing. But we'll get back to in-person. My guess, it's going to be a bit of a long winter here. It's okay, but we're all here, and we're going to go hang out in the networking. So we're done here. Thank you all so much. Please make sure you click that. Before this is over, click that, jump into the networking with us over in Kumo Space. I'm going to get myself a beverage, and I'm ready to hang out. So thank you all so much.
All right. Thanks all. What a fantastic month. See y'all guys September 30th.